And it looks like we are live. Here we go. Awesome. So today we are going to talk about some of our favorite posts from the Content Cucumber blog. It was really hard to narrow it down, not going to lie, but the team has picked a few highlights from the last several months to share with you. So, Quinn, you want to go first?
Sure. My favorite blog that we've ever written is called SpongeBob Was Right, There Are Beaches in the Ocean. And it's about brine pools in the ocean that actually act as like little lakes because the water density is heavier than the water density just in the ocean in general. And talking about how like SpongeBob was right, like the Goo Lagoon is real.
That's awesome.
So funny.
It was such a fun one to read for sure.
Mhm.
All right. Connor, what about you?
The one I picked is called Scary Movies to Watch Now That It's Officially October. It's pretty relevant since we're like smack dead in the middle of the month. And it just lists a couple of horror movies that you should definitely check out. Actually, whenever we were writing this, I was consulted on it because I'm the resident horror fan. So, it has a special place in my heart. But if you care at all about horror movies or interested in seeing any really great horror movies this month, I would check this list out.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that was a really fun one to put out because I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Someone text Connor.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
So awesome. Well, my favorite post from our blog is our post about the evolution of language. I had a lot of fun reading this one and learning about the different types of semantic shifts that can happen as language evolves. Through broadening, so words that end up meaning more things than they originally did, or narrowing, which is the opposite of that, and also about some of the internet influences, like the word selfie, which is a relatively recent invention of the language. So it was just really fun to learn about some of the mechanisms of language that can impact the way it shifts. Chris, you want to share yours?
Yeah, it's really difficult for me to pick one. There's a kind of a period of time where I was particularly fond of our writing styles, and it was when the world was first getting used to this whole like corona world. And there's a lot of really good topics that came about around that time. And I'll just read a couple of them, of the topics, and you can kind of get an idea of what it's for. But one was how not to kill the person you're quarantined with. And that one is great. It's just talking about spending time developing hobbies, going on virtual dates, staying in shape and things of that nature. So that's really cool. And then another one I really liked was destigmatizing mental health. I think that's really important. And it's really cool that we wrote about that. I think people, if you're having a allergy attack, that's like normal, but if you're having a panic attack, then there's something wrong with you. Whereas there really shouldn't be any difference between having anxiety or allergies, for example. So that's kind of a good one. And probably my most favorite out of I just kind of did a top three, from that period was good news you might have missed. And I'll read some of them actually, because it's still good news today, and it's things that I really think that the Cucumber Chronicle should cover more of. But Vans launched an autism awareness collection. The second person to be cured of HIV is still HIV-free a year later. The United States CO2 emissions dropped in 2019. Our CO2 emissions actually decreased by 1.9%, and we expect that will decrease another 2% in 2020. And probably even more than 2% with COVID, because I think this was written around the time that we weren't sure how much transit would have fallen. So with that fall in transit, our CO2 emissions have probably fallen even further. Wales is building a massive forest, and not like the creatures whales. They're not like creating a huge school of whales, but the country of Wales is. They're learning. Whales are sentient now. No, but the country of Wales is, I guess, doing an initiative, an ecological based. And actually on that, something that's cool that we could talk about is IU has a promise that they've kept for 200 years, over 200 years, that every time IU cuts down a tree, they plant two in somewhere else. So that way they don't have a negative ecological impact on the places where they build. So IU's campus is very beautiful, and there's trees everywhere because of that. Zoo and wildlife streams are getting more traffic, which that makes a lot of sense because like we can't go to stuff like that anymore. So yeah, so those are just some good news, which is great. I mean, that's just not something we don't really hear anyone talking about good news. I mean, it's out there. We just don't, it's either, I don't know why we don't talk about good news more often.
I think, getting angry sells. People like getting upset, but I agree. I think good news is, we need that right now, especially considering the chaos of 2020.
I remember when we were putting together that topic and the others around that time, and we were just all kind of talking about how every newsletter, every website, everything was just so much bad news constantly. And we were kind of like, well, people are already getting all the bad stuff that's happening in the world from other places. Like, they don't need us telling them that too. They can get that from every other source in existence. It kind of seemed like. So we were like, so we're gonna try and be something that brightens their days and makes them feel like it's not all bad. Mm-hmm. And I think we did that really, really well.
Yeah, I think we should do more good news. I'm sure there's tons of good news to spread. So yeah, I think we should continue doing that. It's really nice, really refreshing.
Yeah.
Kind of give people a break, kind of a little bit of a breather. There's an honorable mention that I think there should be. We should probably mention the article about combined experience. What does combined experience really mean?
Nothing.
So, yeah, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
If we don't have a plan, have you guys read this one or heard this one before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, that was a featured snippet for a while. I remember because we wrote it because we were just doing some napkin math in a meeting about like how much combined experience would Walmart have? Like,
yeah, Walmart has 2.2 million associates worldwide and 1.5 million in the United States. The average tenure length is 3.3 years. So that's 7.2 million years of combined experience. So Walmart has 7.2 million years of experience.
Crazy. It's the biggest private employer in America. Walmart is. The biggest employer is the Department of Defense. I think Walmart or McDonald's is like second or something like that.
Costco has 2.2 million years of experience. So
they've been around for 2.2 million years.
I want to see more commercials where Costco's like, we have 2.2 million years of experience.
You never see that, and like the cavemen were trolling about Costco. So
I would say a prehistoric Costco.
It's just you walk in and you have to show your rock ID.
Yeah.
They won't let you buy it.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Combined experience. Humanity has probably trillions of years of combined experience by now.
Certainly.
That doesn't mean that we've got it all figured it out.
I'd say not. It took us a while to figure out how to make fire, so I don't think.
Yeah.
Or there's a long way for us to go still.
Not quite a type 1 civilization yet.
I don't think we'll be there anytime in our lifetime.
You don't think so?
No. I don't know. Maybe we'll be on Mars, maybe. I hope so.
Well, you know what what is that called?
What is that theory called? I know what you're talking about.
What's that guy's name? Or the Kardashian Scale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised we haven't written about this before.
We can get a topic
sounds like
of it.
we should add it to the list.
I've got the list open.
What's
it called?
Was prepared.
Kardashian Scale?
The Kardashian Scale.
The Kardashian Scale?
I was like, what?
It means the more you're on TV, the more money you make. That's the Kardashian Scale.
We should make a joke one called the Kardashian scale.
Yeah, the more tabloids you're in per month, the more money you make.
Mhm.
That's the Kardashian scale.
My question though with that scale is, do online tabloids count the same as published like paper print tabloids?
No, we'll have to create some sort of equation.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can take the actual Kardashian scale as inspiration, and then we can draw it from there.
It doesn't have to be too scientific.
No, this is we gotta figure this out. No, we gotta figure this thing out. This is important.
You can trust this process.
So a type 1 civilization is able to harness all of the resources of its planet. So if we become a type 1 civilization, then we would be able to, like, we wouldn't have climate problems, for example, because we could just have a permanent hurricane in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that was constantly generating energy. And we could redirect the hurricane anywhere we wanted, and we could put, when there's fires in California, we could just, let's put some rain over here. A type 1 civilization would be able to just completely control the planet and all of its energy.
So what are we right now, like type 27?
Type 0.5 probably.
Oh, so it starts at 0. Type 1 is the max out.
No, type 3 is the max out. So type 1.
So type 3 is when you go to space. Or no, type 2 is your solar system.
It is harnessing all the radiation of a star. So
okay, and then type 3 is your galaxy.
Yes.
Wow.
Is this like an actual scientist created scale, or is this like a sci-fi?
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's a real scientist, Kardashev. I mean, it's a thought experiment, but it's actually called the Kardashev scale. There's a really great video on the Kardashev scale by I'm gonna botch the name.
Oh,
but it's,
the In a Nutshell channel.
They should rename it to In a Nutshell. It's called Kurzgesagt.
What?
I'll go drop the name of the channel in the comments. So if anyone would like to check out this particular video, you can see it there.
Yeah,
yes,
you could actually here.
I'll
put the link in the comments here, so you can put it on the link in the comments there. Oh no, that's
just a number.
Damn
it's a phone number. Call
it. Don't call that number.
All right, I need to go now. I gotta head to class.
All right, see you, Connor.
All right, bye. See ya.
All right, the In a Nutshell video of the Kardashian scale is now in the comments. So if you want to check out that video and learn more about this concept, definitely take a look at the comments below, or just keep an eye out for an edition about the Kardashian scale of the Cucumber Chronicle coming to your inbox soon.
Nice. And now we know how you can talk about your favorite blog and end up talking about a Kardashian scale or a Kardashian scale. So I guess a Kardashian scale, the type 1 Kardashian would be those that can control like I guess their own fans, and a type 2 could control their fans and all of the people who are friends with their fans. And a type 3 would be able to influence anyone who's even heard of them.
Or just all of Twitter. Yeah. I think all of Twitter would be pretty
total internet domination. I thought the Kardashians were more of an Instagram thing. Are they a Twitter thing or an Instagram thing?
It depends.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, but I have to make a call, so I gotta go.
All right. Well, with that, I think that's it for this week's live. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what your favorite blog post is in the comments below, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye, Facebook.